Hey y'all, I'm about to do my makeup right quick. Oh, my scalp itch so bad. I really don't want to do like a lot, but you just never know how it's gonna go once you get started doing the makeup. Look at my lashes. So I was looking for my primer, but I got my pencil, so we're gonna start on my brows. Push this back. So yep. Let me see if I can go on. Y'all, I'm hungry. They got some donuts, but I don't really want that. But I probably gotta make myself eat it, even though I don't want it. So, yeah, I have new brushes that I just refuse to open. I just been using my old ones. Maybe let's do a story time. So story time on we can do a story time on me moving to Atlanta. So boom. After COVID, well, let's fast forward. I had graduated LSU 2018 in December, and I had moved to New Orleans. But before I had moved to New Orleans, well, no, I'm gonna go there because I'm gonna do that as another story time. But literally, I had decided to, I had came home. Look, I got the concealer way up there. I had came home after graduation. And when I say home, I mean like I came to the city of New Orleans after graduation. Worked out here, worked at a school, was a behavioral interventionist for a year. Then I started working at Target because COVID had happened. I was working at Saks, and then I started working at COVID because Target was the only thing that was open, and I needed to pay my bill. I was the only person that I knew of outside of like my other friend that was working at Target who didn't get unemployment. I didn't get unemployment until like, girl, I don't know when. But so I just was like, I need a job. I don't want to go without a job because I got rent, I got bills. So I had started working at Target. And I just was like, I just kept telling myself, I'm like, this can't be my life. Like, my life just can't be me working at Target. And I was in pursuit of my rap career, of course. And I just wanted a better opportunity. I had an uncle, which that wound up turning out sour. That's like the story of my life with my family. Just this primer, y'all, that I'm putting on my face. But it just winds up not working out. But I just thank God, that he was there. So I had an uncle who lived in Atlanta. And I was like, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Atlanta. Because I just wanted to see what opportunities were there, especially for music. I just felt like I just kept being blocked in New Orleans, and I just felt like nobody was going to help me. Not even that they just didn't want help. Like, I guess maybe they just didn't know how to help. And I had already had an opportunity with a label, and that shit didn't pan out the way that I thought. So I just really just was like, fuck, I'm just over New Orleans. It's time for a fresh start. Let's move to Atlanta. But once COVID and shit happened, it was so hard for people to kind of like move and to go to a different city. So once they kind of, once they wasn't really tripping like they, once some of the, this is my foundation stick and my Juvia's Palace concealer. Once they kind of start letting people go outside and shit, I was like, all right, I'm going to get ready to move. Everybody just was like, bitch, you got your own place. You finally getting shit situated after graduating and you going to move? I was like, yeah. This is me. I'm so optimistic, spontaneous, and I just be jumping off the fucking porch. But to me, I know, should I cover this? Because sometimes it be burning. I'm going to cover it. But to me, or for me, I know if you don't take risks, shit won't happen for you. And I just felt like maybe I should. Not like I said, after Katrina, we lived in Atlanta for a little while, but I was young. Like, I was still in elementary school, so I never like went out there as an adult. So I just wanted to see, like, it was either Atlanta. Didn't really want to do New York. And I'm going to do a story time on my 3 weeks in New York and why I ultimately decided to come back home. But like I said, my degree was merchandising and fashion. So I could have, been successful in New York, but I had wound up coming home. But yeah, so I knew I wanted to do the music, so I was like, well, let me just go to Atlanta. Like, Atlanta cool, it's still in the South. It's not gonna be super cold, even though Atlanta experienced all 4 seasons. So, like when it was cold, it was cold. When it was hot, it was hot. When it was spring, it was spring. It was fall, it was fall. Like, I mean, it didn't really make no difference. But I think I was so unprepared. Like, I just thought I was working as a substitute teacher along with me working at Target, and then I had wound up getting into all my managers at Target, so they didn't want to let me transfer, which was cool because I'm just like, bitch, I'm overworking at Target anyway. But all my coworkers was like, no, let them transfer you. So when you move out there, you will have some, stable income. But they didn't want to transfer me. They was mad about us getting into it. And I should do a story time about how all that shit kind of panned it out. But I wasn't tripping. I just was like, I'm going to just take a leap of faith. I feel like this is what my heart is telling me. I'm going to go out there. And like I said, I was substitute teaching. So I had contacted the company that I was working with, substitute teaching. And it was just like, they had offices in Atlanta. So I just was like, okay, well, I'll just do that. Because when I was working in New Orleans, I was making $20 an hour substitute teacher. So I'm like, all right, they should pay you more in Atlanta because this is a bigger market. I'm just pretty sure they pay you more. Bitch, I was so wrong. Atlanta school system and structure is completely different from New Orleans. And I guess they really just give a shit about the children. They actually go to work. It's not like New Orleans. So I received a huge pay cut with that. And then I was staying with my uncle, and we all wind up getting into it. Because then around that time, I think Hurricane Ida came, and my cousins came. It just was just family drama or whatever. So I just was like, let me get the fuck from around him. for better or for worse, because I appreciate him, taking me in and shit like that. But it just wound up going bad. And then because of Hurricane Ida had happened, my mama had wound up coming down there, and she had a hotel, and she was like, they're giving out hotels, so you could just get you a hotel until you find you an apartment. Yo, so I had got me a hotel, stayed in the hotel. I was substituting from the hotel. I was just really living from a fucking hotel. But I guess I didn't really mind because it just reminded me of fucking after Katrina when we was living in Atlanta, living in a fucking hotel. So I was just ready to kind of come into my own though too. And I just was like, you know what? Let me just start looking for apartments. That shit was like, I didn't have a stable job. My fucking credit score was shit. So that's kind of how that journey went. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like trying to do Google things at once. So finally got an apartment, moved out of, and I feel like I'm missing so many steps throughout this time of me kind of figuring my way. I was going to buku celebrity parties. So like I said, at the time, my goal has always been to get a record deal. Even though I always like kind of played the fence of just like, well, I'm an independent artist, I want everything, but I just knew I wanted the mainstream. And I just thought, I'm like, Atlanta, yo, if you think there's a lot of people trying to be rappers in New Orleans, Atlanta is like times 1,000, okay? Like times 1,000. And going into it, I did not know that, y'all. But I'ma say this. It was so much love. Like, they super supportive. The rappers like fuck with you, and then you gotta think about it. When I was rapping and shit, I sounded very New Orleans. So they knew I wasn't from Atlanta, and most of them was, well, to be honest, a lot of people that I was meeting was from like other places like Florida, New York, Detroit. So all of us migrated to this hub that's Atlanta to try to, pursue our passions and pursue our dreams. So we all were super supportive of one of each other because, yo, while I was in Atlanta, I was doing open mics like a motherfucker. Like, I was doing open mics almost every week. Every week they had an open mic. I'm paying my little money to attend. And at first I just was like, why the fuck would I pay to perform? But y'all, overall, I think that experience just changed the trajectory. Girl, I always want to say this word and don't know how to say it. But it just changed the pace of just my rapping career or whatever. I swear to God, just performing at all those open mics gave me so much confidence because I was around a bunch of motherfuckers that was rapping, and a lot of people had a lot of talent, but I was always very confident in me, and I was like, man, nobody not gonna sound like me. They ain't gonna be able to fuck with me. I guess that's just the cockiness of the New Orleans and me. But I just knew, I'm not even gonna say that, I just knew I had something different. And I knew if the right person seen it, they would bite it. Because before I moved from out of New Orleans, they had people that was interested in me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there was multiple labels wanting to sign me and shit like that. So I just, like I said, I just wanted a fresh start too. And I feel like that's what you're supposed to do after you graduate college. I feel like you're supposed to move away from home, or that's what I seen from a lot of the people that went to school with me. Like, they all went to different places, and I just was like, what the fuck am I staying in New Orleans for? Like, I'm not really getting what I feel I need in order for me to be, should I do some eyeshadow? in order for me to be successful. So why am I holding on to, yeah, I'm gonna do some eyeshadow so we could keep on going with the video. So I got these two palettes. I got this, and I got this little old thing. So we gonna mix it, see what we could come up with. But I'm about to just do my base. But yeah, so to be honest, it was a lot of community in Atlanta. And I mean, like, from the rappers, like the female rappers. I did a female rapper cypher. I did a showcase. I won a showcase. Like, I was seeing a lot of success. It just was like, I was working with a producer out there because I had an EP that I did while I was living in Atlanta, and it wound up streaming #8 on Apple Music. So like I said, since I've been rapping, I always giving my all, and I've always seen, you know, some sort of success. Even if it wasn't mainstream success, I've always seen some type of something that made me be like, I'm not gonna stop, I'm not gonna give up. I need a napkin. Hold on, y'all.